Coming in at our number 5 spot, I've decided to tie in two separate Ratholes because they're very similar and they're the smallest Ratholes on this list. So I personally didn't think they deserved their own spots, but this first one will be coming in at 51 latitude and 10.1 longitude. It's right over here by this wall. You'll go straight down. It's just this little room. And then if you come down here, it opens up into an even smaller room. But it is a nice little starter spot for, a duo or a trio just to get started before moving on to your actual base spot. I would not stay here long. Just a little spot to get started up with. Second base location and our number 5 spot will be located over by the Wyvern Nest. And you'll see this waterfall. It's a 4-piece waterfall. And then you'll come over here at 39.1 latitude and 37.6 longitude. This one's just another drop down right here. This one is just this big. Once again, just for starters, would not stay here. But it's a nice little hidden spot to just stay tucked away temporarily. Now moving on to our number 4 spot. Our number 4 spot, just like the last spot, we are still at the Wyvern, cove is what you would call this. And just over here, you'll see this little plateau, which kind of gives it away, so I'm not sure how hidden this one will actually be. But you can find it at 42.3 latitude, 31.9 longitude. You'll just fly through this crack, and then has a little bit more room than the last 2 spots. Still not massive, but can definitely fit a good sized base back here. Would only use it as a solo or a duo. But that's all for that spot. We'll move on to our next one. At our number 3 spot, we have our first big rat hole, which I would say you could probably honestly use as a main base. But you'll find this one over here, once again, by the Wyvern Cove at 31.8 latitude, 28.3 longitude. And you'll see this giant circle. I actually lost this rat hole while flying out of it to make this part of the video. I had to teleport back to it. You also have this plateau up here. You'll come right underneath it. And then tucked away in here, you'll have a turn. And then it'll open up to this. You could have turrets all along the wall. And you have plenty of room up here. It's going to be a little tricky to build without cliff plats, but once cliff plats are in the game, you'll have no problem at all. Then you can also come down below the entrance. And you have a very tight tunnel, but a lot of room in this tunnel, so if you know how to work with space very well, you could easily fit just about everything you need in here, excluding breeding, but you should have a separate breeding base anyways. This rat hole in the video as well, but I didn't want to give it an actual spot because I felt that the other ones deserved a spot more than this one. So as an honorable mention, at our number 3 spot at 46.4 latitude and 29.4 longitude. It's pretty similar to the other one, but definitely a lot smaller, which is why I decided to go with that one opposed to this one. It's a little bit more hidden though, so you'll just fly through this crack, and then up here, you get one room to work with. Once again, can definitely still fit everything that you need in here, but you'll have to work with your space a lot neater. So moving on to our number 2 spot. At our number 2 spot, you'll look for this lake with a waterfall coming down into it. The chords are 44.6 latitude, 34.6 longitude. This one's a little bit smaller than our number 3 spot, but I put it in at our number 2 spot for the fact that it's flatter on the inside, so a lot easier to work with and still a good amount of room. The entrance is also relatively small. I'm pretty sure the only thing that can fit through here is going to be a pteranodon, and they'll have to make a sharp turn when flying in, which then if you get a good little wall going here, they won't just be able to fly straight back into your base. Then you can litter this whole thing with, easily fit a whole turret cap in here. And I think you'll be pretty safe as a smaller tribe that's just looking to stay relatively hidden. And at our number 1 spot, we have a way better base spot. So if this one's available, I definitely recommend taking our number 1 spot. Number 1 spot, we actually have our first underwater rat hole, and I would say this is probably one of the better rat holes in the game at the moment, but it is on a modded map, so unfortunately this isn't going to be on every cluster. But if you're playing a cluster that has the Temptress Lagoon, this is going to be one of the better rat holes to take. The chords are 41.7 latitude and 0.02 longitude. So it is against the world border, which is always a benefit because that means you don't have to defend from as many spots. It's underwater, which is a very nice thing. But even better news is that the rat hole itself actually isn't registered as water. So you gotta get up here. This is the entrance, relatively small. There's not much you're gonna be able to fit through there. And then you got this first big opening. I would store your gen probably on this left side. And then some vaults for defense. And then you'll go past this first room into this second room, which once again has a small entrance into another big room, which I would put another defense room in. Then you got this third little pocket. You used to be able to get underneath here, but they have since patched it since their last update. I'm sure you can probably put sleeping bags in there, but you'll probably get banned on most clusters by doing that. And that's not the best part about the space spot. The best part about the space spot is that if you come out of it, you're actually right next to an underwater cave as well. So you can have some underwater breeding by just coming up here, coming around to right here. The entrance to the cave is going to be 42.7 latitude and 1.6 longitude. This cave's also been reworked since the map originally dropped. It used to all be water up here, but this is kind of like a pearl cave. You got pearls in here. Not the most room out there, but I would just use this for your breeding. And that rat hole back there is going to be where I would keep my loot personally. Definitely a really strong cave though. I would recommend taking this. I might be taking it on the server that I play. And if you want to come play on the same server that I'm on, the link will be in the description. So with that being said, have a good one, guys.